Create your best e-learning with a prompt. High-impact courses in minutes, not in weeks. Online courses in seconds, powered by AI. AI that helps experts share knowledge. Now look at that last one, AI that helps experts share knowledge. Notice who's missing from that sentence? You, the instructional designer. We know the courses these tools spit out are garbage, so we laugh. But stop laughing, because these ads from course creators were not written for you, they're written for your manager. And the danger isn't that AI is getting good enough to do your job, it's that your boss thinks that what your job always was, just packaging information into slides and quizzes and publishing it to SCORM. Management always saw your final project, but your actual expertise, the thinking and the decisions has been invisible most of the time. Now that a tool can create a course in minutes, they think the work is done. You expect me to tell you that you should learn AI faster, but I won't. Because for 2 years I've building with AI and these tools myself. I deliver client courses, build my own software, even a full adaptive math game for my kid and her class. And I've experienced exactly where AI and all the tools hold up and where they fall short. I found one specific move, something you can give away for free. It's the difference between being the next name on the cut list or the one they want designing it before anyone builds anything. Now it feels completely backwards, which is exactly why I almost never see anyone do it. So let me show you the move. Let me show you the thing that scares most IDs right now. It's not a robot taking your job, it's smaller than that and a lot more specific. So picture this, a subject matter expert, someone who's never opened Storyline or Rise before, who've never built a course in their entire life, drops a finished module in a team channel built with AI in an afternoon. And you are open it and ready to tear it apart. But the course is fine at first glance, not top-notch, but okay. The design's clean, the structure holds, it looks like a course. And what's missing is the one layer only you would edit, the path that turns information into behavior. And that layer never shows on up a screen. So management takes a look, sees one thing and thinks, hey, a saving. And that's the moment something tightens, because the thing they always came to you for, turning a pile of raw content into a clean finished module, just got done by someone who doesn't know the first thing about your job. And that in a single afternoon. So let's be precise, because everyone gets this part wrong. AI is replacing you, that lazy headline. What actually happens is narrower, and honestly, it's worse. So what became a commodity is building courses, the packaging, the visual part with your name on it. But that was never your whole job. It was the slice that they could see, and most of the time the smallest one. The real work always sat underneath, where they never looked. So if the only part they could see is gone, what's actually left that's yours? Your first instinct here is to be the wrong one. And I get it, why you have it. The instinct is, okay, I'll work faster, learn the tools quicker than everyone else, and I out all the SMEs with AI. But my honest advice, don't do this. Because it's nailing a skill that just went obsolete. And here's the harder version. You're not losing your value, you're losing your production work. Now, and those were never the same thing. You just couldn't tell because management only ever saw one of them. They saw the module, the finished thing on the screen. But the real work, figuring out what should change on the floor, which behavior was actually broken, whether trading was even the answer, that happened all in your head. In a meeting, on a call. It was invisible, and not because you hid it. The job was built that way. You were positioned as the person who makes the slides, so the slides are what they learned to value. Which means that a tool copies the slides in 30 seconds, they think the whole job is done. The thinking was never on their radar to begin with you, so the problem was never your skill. Is that your most valuable work is invisible to the person who decides your future? So how do you make it visible? without walking and announcing, "Hey, I'm strategic," because nobody ever believed that sentence anyway. So make it visible by giving it a name. One name that does the work of you, because it speaks the language of the person who signs off your budget. And here's the name. When a subject matter expert ships a fast, good enough module, they think they didn't save money, they took out a loan. It looks finished today, but the bill lands later. Now, when this incident still happens, when the floor still gets wrong, when the behavior never changed, and someone finally asked what budget even bought, that's what I call didactic debt. Developers named this back in the early 90s, technical debt. Code that looks clean, passes review, ships fast, and rots underneath. Works today, bites you back later. Same trap. Now let me give you a real example. A while back, a client asked me for 4 short micro-learning. The assumption was simple. People finish the 4 learnings, things get better on the floor. So that's what we built. Real craft in the design, smooth animations, looked sharp, and all 4 did was push information one way. Nobody, me included, had stopped to act what was actually going wrong underneath. So everybody completed them, but nothing changed. And that's a debt coming due. And the word is what flips it. Cheap and fast sound like a win to your manager. Debt sound like a bill they're going to have to pay. Same module, completely different conversation. So, quick one, and you can use this today. I put didactic debt in a single page, what it is, and the exact words to bring it to your manager. It's free, and it is in the description, so get the link below. But here's the catch. A word in your head is still invisible. You can't walk in and just say, "That's didactic debt." You have to show it. You have to put the missing thing on the table where they can see it. So here's the move. And it starts before you build anything. A colleague ships a module, it explains what the data law says, solid reference, every rule is in there. But most of us would stop there or polish it. But don't. Look at the problem differently. Don't ask, what do they need to know? Ask, where does the actually thing goes wrong on the floor and why does it go wrong? And you'll find it fast. Nobody fails here because they didn't know the rule. They fail it at 5 p.m. tired when a customer emails demanding all their data, and the easy thing is just to send it. So the rule is in their head and the decision is what breaks. So that's exactly what you built. No more facts, but one real decision. That 5 p.m. email lands, send me everything you got on me now. And you make them choose. Send it, stall, or check who's actually asking. Then comes the part the subject matter experts with AI skips entirely. You don't flash incorrect, you show them what happens. Pick, just send it, and you watch the data land in the wrong hands. The mistake playing out on the floor where it actually cost something. So that's the whole reframe. Not what should they know, they already know it. It's where does the decision break and what does it feel like when it does. That's the strategic layer, the part a subject matter expert with AI never thinks to go looking for. And then you hand it over. One line does all the work. You say, your module covers what they need to know. I build the moment they have to decide. So together it's actually finished. No dig at the colleague, you made nobody smaller, you made the whole thing bigger, and you delivered the part that turns knowing into doing. That's the move. One addition, giving away before anyone asks. Do it once, it's an investment. Do it 10 times for free, and you'll quietly become the unpaid quality control. And that's the trap. So this can be where it stops. Because now there's proof on the table, something everybody can point at. There's where the subject matter expert with AI didn't make. This is what you add. So you don't argue that the thinking has value, you showed it. And now you're walking with this was done by hand. That doesn't actually scale. So let me build the format, a prompt set that asks behavior questions from the start, a quality bar, and me as the last check. Then it's faster and it's right. So look at what you just did. You stopped competing with the subject matter expert plus AI. You offered to design it. You ran straight at the wave that was supposed to wash you out. So now you're safe. That's what you want me to say, but I'm not going to. Because this is the exact spot where most people quit, and you should know why before you start. Now, I'm not going to dress things up, production work is going away. But there's a flip side, and it's the better deal. While the field keeps stacking didactic depth, you're doing the exact opposite. You're building an asset, a way of seeing the problem that gets sharper every time you use it, and that nobody can repossess. Not the subject matter expert with AI, not the next reorganization, not the tool that comes after this one. So here's my honest catch. An asset like that pays late. The first time you give the behavior layer away, nobody claps. The second time, nobody claps either. But it compounds quietly. So the same way the depth does, but just in your favor. Most people quit before it shows. And that's the whole edge. You keep the posting when there's still nothing on the screen. So no, this isn't safety. Safety is something a job hands you, and then it takes back the second it suits them. This is something you own. You stop being the one who feeds the system and become the one who designs it. And that travels with you to the next room, to the next company. That's not a smart move, it's the only one that's still yours. So that's my channel now. No more click-by-click storyline tutorials. My next videos go deeper. I'll show you one move per build. Rip apart an AI-generated module and rebuild it so it actually changes behavior. And I'm curious, by the way, what's the worst AI-generated module you ever seen? Drop it in the comments below. But because this whole channel is the opposite of the generated AI module, I'll show you, for instance, scenario-based learning in Storyline, 0 clicks next, the real science behind why trading doesn't stick, and AI as a genuine leverage in your day-to-day job. Not a party trick, but where it adds real value and where your craft have to step in. The difference was never whether you use AI, it's whether you point at the right problem. Your judgment amplified and finally visible. So if the designer you want to be